Hey, shalom, shalom. First and foremost, I want to give all praise, honor, and glory unto Yahweh, Bahasham, Yahweh Shai, Bahasham, Rekah HaKodash. I want to send double honor to the elders, apostles, and bishops at Great Millstone who rule well. Peace, love, and salutations to the hopeful elect document out there doing this work. Much love to the scattered elect and to the few sincere women that subscribe to the true doctrine. This is the brother you call him off with the Great Millstone Camp, the branch out here in Omaha, Nebraska, coming back with another lesson, Lord willing, to feed and to edify the lost sheep of the nation of Israel through the Holy Spirit, Rekah HaKodash, which you Israelites consisting of the so-called Negroes, so-called Hispanics, and so-called Native Americans by the seed of your father, no matter what you may look like. And I wanted to get into this lesson. I actually had to re-record it because I recorded it the first time and didn't turn my mic on, so it's called to wild. Lord willing, this will be edifying, but just wanted to get into this article that popped up on my timeline, and it's dated June 29th, 2026, which is 5 days ago, from the peoplesvoice.tv, right? And it says Nancy Pelosi praises GAY Pride marchers for making America more American as naked dancers perform for children, which, they weren't actually performing for children, but they were in the midst of children, okay? And as you read the article, it goes into it, which I'll read into it. I won't get too deep into it, but it's just straight perversion, man. This is straight perversion. And for all those Israelite camps, or you individuals out there that believe that these heathens can make it, that Esau, Edom, also is going to find favor in the eyes of Yahweh Shem, Yahweh Shai, you out of your mind, okay? This is one of the many high-level wicked acts that Esau, Edom commits against Yahweh Shem, Yahweh Shai. Here it is that the Heavenly Father, he had it written within the law that a man should not lie with man. All right, a woman and a man should not change their natural use when you go into the book of Romans. But here it is. He does that anyway. All right, everything that you could think of that Yahweh Shem Yahweh Shai have set up to be righteous, this devil has desecrated. Okay. Now I'm gonna start. I'll start here in the book of Isaiah. I believe it's Isaiah 26. 29, okay. Now, I just pray that this is edifying. Like I said, I'll get it somewhat into the article, get some precepts, and really see what the Spirit permits, all right? But this is Isaiah 29 and verse 16. It says, surely your turning of things upside down shall be esteemed as the potter's clay. And what has he turned upside down? Number one, when you read in this article, their representation of pride is the rainbow, which was actually in the holy covenant towards the world that Yahweh Shem Yahweh Shai wouldn't flood the earth again, all right, as he did in the days of Noah, right? But what does they turn that rainbow into? He turned it into the element OP activity. So every time you see a rainbow now, I'll say in this world, it's not associated with the covenant that the Lord made. It's automatically associated with more activity. That's a straight up desecration. Okay. Just for edification's sake, I'll pull that word up in the etymology line, right? What does it mean to desecrate something? Okay, to desecrate. All right. It says, let's see, I'm going to get desecration. Let me see, desecration. I believe desecration goes into it a little bit more vividly, right? So same thing. So when you get into the word desecration, sacrilegious treatment, act of diverting from a hallowed purpose or use. Okay? The natural use of a man and woman, that has been desecrated. And when you got man on man, woman on woman, man and woman, gender swapping, if you know what I mean. And the scriptures speak against that. I believe in the book of Wisdom of Solomon, where it spoke that it said there would be changing of kind. Okay? And this is what we see going on. And, it's been pushed amongst the children. Okay? Especially over the years where you had these transmissioners that were allowed to read to grade school children. Okay? And that which is straight up, it's confusion. Okay, that's not natural. But what Esau Edom has done in his rulership is he's making the things that are wicked in the eyes of Yahweh Shem Yahushai. He have made them look like they are, or seem like they're acceptable in the eyes of the Heavenly Father, when they're not, man. Let's get back to the surely your turning of things upside down should be esteemed as the potter's clay. For shall the work say of him that made it, he made me not? Or shall the thing framed say of him that framed it, he had no understanding? Right? Which essentially that's saying that what? The Most High, he has control of everything. He made everything and everyone exactly how they're supposed to be. The Most High don't make no mistakes. Okay? He had wisdom in everything that he put his hand towards. Okay? So when he created the wicked, he says that he created them to be, as in the book of Romans, it says that he created them to be vessels unto destruction. Okay? And he created Jacob, then the so-called Negroes, Hispanics, and Native Americans to be vessels unto honor. Okay? Now with the rest of these heathens, they're created for their purpose also. All right? And ultimately, they're created to be above us. Because of, going back to the book of Deuteronomy, the 28th chapter, where it says that the heathen that shall come in amongst you shall get up high above thee, and thou shalt be brought very low. All right, which is why you see these heathens in a high position. You see them having stores in Jake neighborhoods. All right, you see them, Hamites coming over here, getting over $1,000-something worth of food stamps, and you've been here your whole life working, scrapping, and scraping. Which that's a wicked system in any way, but that they come over here and they're set up right. Now ultimately their purpose is to be our be our slaves when the kingdom of heaven is established. This is what they're created for. All right. But without further ado, let's get into this precept. This article. We'll grab some precepts, and Lord willing, that'll be the lesson. Right? So it says, let's just get into it. It's up there on the screen so you can read it. It says, footage captured the debauchery and depravity of GAY Pride marchers over the weekend, with demonstrations featuring nudity and other graphic displays, frequently in full view of children. Okay? Which children, in their innocence, they're not supposed to witness the nudity of any adult, right? Mother, father, cousin, sister, brother, none of that. Okay, and that's according to the book of Leviticus, where it goes heavy into that. All right, now even though you have Jakes, which I've witnessed before, you have women that are walking around naked in front of their kids, which they think it's okay. Oh, it's my kid. They've seen me naked, but yeah, they're not supposed to continually witness you naked. Now, that's a whole nother story. But in the context of this event, it's extremely wicked. Okay, double confusion. You're dancing butt naked. You probably had men out there kissing men, women out there kissing women. Ain't no telling what they was doing. All type of freaky activity was probably going on out there, man. And you're doing it, and you're showing this to the kids, right? Which ultimately what Esau Edom is doing is you're molding a whole another generation of freaks, right? It says, this is straight, man, let's get this in the book of Isaiah 19. Isaiah 19, verse 14. It says, Yahweh hath mingled a perverse spirit in the midst thereof, and they have caused Egypt to err in every work thereof, as a drunken man staggereth in his vomit. All right? And Egypt is spiritually, America captivates the spirit of Egypt. Okay? And that goes back into the book of Revelation, the 11th chapter, and the 8th verse, where it says that this is the spiritual Sodom and Egypt. Okay? And it's Sodom for a reason. Okay, what happened to Sodom? Sodom was destroyed by fire and brimstone because of their debaucherous activity, activity. Okay, and it was burnt to the ground, right? And the elder brother here, he did a lesson recently over the fire and brimstone, which I had to check that out again and really take my time with it. But the brother was describing, as far as the brimstone being connected to the chemical agent sulfur, which is a cleansing agent, which this is the same way America's going to go out. For what? The same acts, the same more activity. All right, and not only that, but many of the wicked acts, touching the eye of the most, touching the apple of Yahweh Shai's eye, being the Israelites. Okay. Forwarding the affliction, overdoing the affliction that was done to the Israelites, just distorting order. America is going to be put down in a dramatic fashion, and guess what? Everyone's going to see it. Okay. Also in Israel, the land of Israel now, it's not going to be any different. That's going to be destroyed too, but that will be built back up, because that is the land that was promised to the Israelites. So that land will be built back up. But America is going to be totally destroyed, right? When you get to this word perverse, because I went into it earlier, this word earlier, it goes into Strong's H5773, Iwa Ayam, I think I'm pronouncing that correctly, which says distorting, perverting, warping. What it says, perversity, perverse, temper of distorting, i.e. warped judgment. And this right here is warped judgment. Okay? Like I said, this is not the only thing that America has warped judgment on. But this is an example. And you don't think the Most High is going to visit this place for this? Without a doubt, Yahweh Shai is going to visit this place. Okay? As he's already visiting this place, as we've been, and this is how we know we're living in the last times. Right? When you're seeing these earthquakes going on in diverse places, you had in Venezuela, 2 major earthquakes, back-to-back earthquakes, I believe it's 7.2 and then a 7.5. Okay, leaving thousands dead. I believe the report said like 100-something thousand plus missing. The Most High said that these were going to be the signs of the end. And was that 2nd Ezra, the 9th chapter, measuring the time diligently within itself. And this is how we're going to know that Yahweh Shai is about to visit this world, which He made. Okay, there's not a good ending for Babylon, man. We definitely don't see another 10, 15, 20, 30, 40. We don't see that length of time left for this place, man, at all. All right. So yeah, this is a warped judgment. Do you not think that naked dancers performing in front of children, is that not warped judgment? half the time, half the time when we watch movies, you know, if there just so happens to be a naked scene that pop up, like, oh snap, you cover your children's eyes. You know, not that, you know, seeing nudity is not a natural thing, because eventually a child will grow into an adult and will see nudity. But at a young age, that can pervert a child. That could bug a child out. Okay? So, you know, we keep, for the most part, as much as we possibly can, we keep our children from that. Okay? Until it's, you know, the Most High says it's time for them, okay? It's time for them to, you know, to see these type of things. But, you know, as children, it's you know, this act is wicked. It's fuck, man. There's no justifying this. Okay? But I'll jump back into the article since I'm here. Right? Let's just scroll back down. And, you know, I'm going to close it out here in a second, you know, because it really speaks for itself. It just shows that this place. Matter of fact, let's pull up this precept here. In Ecclesiastes, the 8th chapter, in the 11th verse. It says, because sentence against an evil work is not executed speedily. Therefore, the heart of the sons of men is fully set in them to do evil. So, you know, with Esau Edom doing these things, having these GAY parades, all right, distorting judgment, printing off lab-grown food. Every day you wake up, the food is more and more poisonous. You know, you don't think the Most High is going to visit? Yeah, the Most High is just building up judgment. And this is going to prove it. Let's finish it. It says, though a sinner do evil 100 times and his days be prolonged, surely, it says, yet surely I know that it shall be well with them that fear the Most High, which fear before him. Why? Because those that fear before the Most High, which are 10 times out of 10, the Israelites, these are the only ones who have a reverence for Yahweh Hashem Yahweh Shai. Even the 2/3, you know, even though they do wicked shit, you know, they have says they have fear of the Most High, but not according to knowledge. Okay? Because Jake always seeks a higher power. Esau Edom does not seek a higher power. You know, Esau Edom is heavy into you know, to Satan worship. You know, Moloch. You know, all these different holidays they set up. Mother's Day. Esau is heavy into that. You know, which our people follow these things, but ultimately our people look for a higher power, man. They look for a God in the heavens, even though they call him by the wrong name, even though they call his son by the wrong name. They're looking for a higher power, man. So the Israelite is by nature a natural God-fearing people. It says, but it shall not be well with the wicked. Who are the wicked? The so-called white man, the Edomites, Esau. Neither shall he prolong his days, which are as a shadow, because he feareth not before the Most High. And Psalms the 10th chapter goes into that, where it says that the Most High is not in all his thoughts. Psalms 10 and verse 4 says the Most High is not in all his thoughts. He ain't thinking about what's going to happen at the Most High finds, which the Most High knows what he's doing. But he don't fear the judgment. But guess what? That judgment is coming, right? Chariot sightings. I forgot to mention that. You've been seeing more and more chariot sightings. All right. And it says that those chariots, was that Zephaniah? Is it Zechariah the 5th chapter, where it says that they shall stay upon the house of the thief? Okay. And they're staying upon the house of the thief to destroy it. And Esau Edom stole a whole people. He stole a whole land. You know, so the Most High, he's keeping a close eye on this world, especially on Babylon, the Great America, because they're the number one proprietors of distorting the judgment and the order of Yahweh Hashem Yahweh Shai. So hell yeah, the Most High got a close eye on this place. Okay, and that judgment it says that in Revelation the 18th chapter. Let's get that real quick. Revelation 18. and verse 4, right? It says, and I heard another voice. Really it's in verse 5, but I'll read 4 also. It says, and I heard another voice from heaven saying, come out of her, my people, that ye be not partakers of her sins, and that you receive not of her plagues, which is talking about the elect getting beamed up into those chariots. Okay? Because guess what? As I failed to mention, as the Lord is about to visit this earth, Yahweh Shai, it says that he will come back in the same way which he left, according to the book of Acts, the 1st chapter, which he was beamed up into a chariot. So that same Yahweh Shai is going to come back and visit the earth with the chariot and his the angels, and he's going to beam up his elect. Okay, and that the plagues are nigh at hand for Babylon the Great, and that major plague is coming is that fire and brimstone. All right, it says, for her sins have reached unto heaven, and Yahweh hath remembered her iniquities. The Most High ain't forgotten nothing that Esau Edom done. Reverting back to Psalm the 10th chapter, once again, says that he think that the Most High won't require, right? All the things that Esau Edom's done in this earth over the time since he's been in rulership, all the wickedness that he's put forth in the earth, he don't think that the Most High is going to require it. We're the Most High's people, his chosen vessel, the apple of his eye. He loves us, and here it is. We pay for our iniquities. You know? And it says that Jacob have I loved and Esau have I hated. So why wouldn't you be judged? Most High don't fuck with you. Right? This is going into the book of Psalms, the 18th chapter. I believe the 17th chapter, he just used you as a sword. Most High don't give a fuck about these heathens. It says that there is a drop of a bucket, have been ever reputed as nothing. Most High don't give a fuck about these heathens, especially Esau, man. Okay? But getting back into the article, it says, elsewhere in the city, fully nude revelers bathed in Seattle's International Fountain as children were also seen running around the tourist attraction. So no regard. No regard for children seeing this wickedness, man. Because you're so proud in your mind, you want to be seen, or what you want to represent for your clique. But you don't care who it affects. Right. Most High is going to destroy this place, man. Meanwhile, hundreds of multicolored hair and topless freaks in New York City danced in front of an iconic Washington Square art monument and around the Washington Square fountain. Which I'm not going to play any of the videos, man. I'll post the link. And that's the event descended into chaos with police struggling to keep the peace after demonstrators began twerking on light poles. So that's where I'm going to stop it at, man. I'll just post the rest of it. I'll just post the link, man. Because this is straight up fucking wickedness, man. Mawafla Babal, Mawafla Adawamnim. Death which is death to America, and death to Esau, or death to the Edomites. This place has to go, right? But I'll leave it there, man. Lord willing, this was edifying. And until next time, I say Shalom, call Allah Yahweh Bahasham, Yahweh Shai, Bahasham, Rakah HaKodash. Double honor to the elders, apostles, and the bishops at Great Millstone. Peace, love, and salutation is to the hopeful elect doctrine. Shalom.